I just dug some holes in the front yard. I'm gonna plant just some shrub, well, large shrubs that get to be about 15 feet tall. Driving around the neighborhood, I really like the way they look. They're not edible or medicinal, but in the front yard we want some privacy. Our backyard, we have a privacy fence, not a privacy fence, a 6-foot tall chain link fence, because we want to keep the cats safe from all the predators here in Florida. Got some holes dug where I'm going to plant some of those shrubs. I think I'm going to transplant the bamboo and put it back here in the corner. I'm not 100% sure where everything's going to go yet, but we definitely want some privacy. Neighbors are already complaining about, fencing material in the driveway and burn spots in the yard because we're making our own biochar. I signed up for Chip Drop, but I never got anything, so I just kept calling different wood tree cutting down services, and someone was in our neighborhood, so I got 2 loads of wood chips dropped off. And then a guy was landscaping the yard next door, and he dropped off a load of the mulch from the city, which is really like compost. And that's free, except I had to pay him to deliver it. There were some crepe myrtles here already. We planted a bamboo between the 2 crepe myrtles. So I'm not sure 100% what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to dig up at least one of the bamboos and move it. I have a gate so we can drive in here. So we can drive down there to get the camper. In this back corner I have blueberry bushes. And I think it's a pomegranate. In the woods I planted a couple mulberry trees. Over there on that side of the yard I have some avocado trees. I think I'm going to move these shrubs too. I've got 2 firebush and a sweet almond. I didn't realize they also get like 15 feet tall. So I dug around them the other day and put some of the compost around them. So I've got to decide where I'm going to move them. Probably the front yard because they're not edible, but they bring in beneficial insects. I built these raised bed gardens, but soil is really expensive. So I didn't get everything planted very soon because I was filling it with sticks and leaves from the woods until I finally got this. Come on, Chewy. My little dog doesn't like to walk in the grass as much as the road. So in the woods are the mulberry trees. Haven't planted very much in the woods yet. Close to the pool cage I have an orange and a lemon. I seeded sunflowers and zinnias everywhere, but the soil is so poor here. Hardly any of the sunflowers came up. I finally went and bought some fertilizer and put fertilizer on everything, and then we got the compost also, so hopefully everything will start looking better. I just put down cardboard and the compost next to the fence. I can't wait to start planting along the fence line. I get distracted, probably going the wrong way. I started a mango from seed, and then I've got a bunch of it's funny, there are weeds in most of the world, but in permaculture, comfrey is a great chop and drop. So I got some comfrey seeds. I bought 3 Barbados cherries the other day. Those will go in the woods because they like shade. This garden I planted in January, I got spring fever. We moved here in December from Indiana, and the weather is so nice down here in the winter. My front yard This is where I had a big burn spot that the neighbor was not happy about. But I figured it would add some nutrients to the soil because this is just sand. So I went and bought a bunch of flowers to appease the neighbor to make it pretty also. But in amongst the flowers, we have chaya, yucca, lemongrass, oregano, mint, Okinawa spinach. So lots of Florida permaculture. Oh, and I, from seeds, started, this is the only really successful moringa. And my daughter's getting married soon and she wants eucalyptus leaves. So I'm trying to grow stuff. So we've got 4 baby eucalyptus trees. And then a friend just gave me a pumpkin, Seminole pumpkin. And she gave me some Everglade tomatoes and Mexican sunflower and oh, what's that one? It's got berries on it. It's very medicinal. It grows wild all over the place. I'll think of it. And yesterday I got these. I knocked on someone's door. They weren't there, so I left a message. My dog's already raining there. No, Faith, out. I gotta teach her. That's why she's on a leash this morning, because she keeps running in there. She wants to get the squirrels. This was growing in the woods. I dug it up. But the ginger, I'm excited about the ginger. She called me back. She wasn't home, so I left a note. She called me back and said, yeah, I can come get some ginger. Well, she didn't even know what it was. So I dug a bunch up. And it is, I think, an ornamental ginger, not the kind you eat. So we will see. I planted it around 3 trees, which is always dangerous with a dog because she loves the woodlines. She's always after the lizards. See her? She's always after the lizards. No garden, Faith. So now she's in training. Here comes the little dog, Chewy. This was the first garden I made in the front yard. This is for the blueberries. And then it's real moist in this area because I think it's the drain field. So I thought, well, blueberries don't have real deep roots. Take advantage of the moisture. And I repeated in this garden the chaya and the yucca and the lemongrass. So I've got some sage in here also, some bananas and taro and ginger, and then just no garden. Let's go to the backyard. The neighbors have this huge tree that flowers all spring, and I think I've got a couple seedlings from it. I don't know if it's invasive or if it's good, or if I should get rid of it. Not 100% sure what it is. I did plant a vine at the base of this dead tree. It's called non-irritating velvet bean that I got seeds from a friend. Probably some wild sumac growing up in there, and a couple more of those little possibly seedlings from that tree. It's got real big leaves, but the seedlings leaves I think are even bigger. And here's our fence. We got this side, the north side, put up yesterday. So that was our Saturday project. Do one side every Saturday and it won't be done in another month. Come on, Chewy. Let's go in the backyard. Some other friends gave us seeds to Seminole pumpkins, and so I planted them in the country. So that garden along the woods started because of the seedlings that a friend gave me. Well, I'd already planted the avocado tree and the raspberries. And there's a bunch of chaya in that garden. Found some cactus that was growing along the edge. We've got our compost bin in the middle and some building material. I got a bunch of fencing on Facebook Marketplace. So I haven't planted anything that climbs yet. And this was just on the side of the road. I knocked on someone's door. First I thought it was dead bananas. You know how they die when it freezes. And then after looking at it closely, I didn't know what it was. So I asked. And she said I could have some. And it's some type of bird of paradise. But hers was probably 15 feet tall. I don't know. Super tall. So I haven't amended the soil. I just stuck it in the sand. So it's alive, but it's not thriving. I've got another little start on the other side of that, but that's very plain still. This is the mother-in-law suite. So we haven't done anything in the backyard of the mother-in-law suite yet. In the woods here, I just started this. Timothy's violin teacher's mother gave me a bunch of little starts, and I don't know what they're called.